What the hell is Saw Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
All right, so this episode, we're actually going to talk about my favorite position, and it's actually the position that I played the most. When it comes to my soccer playing life, I played almost every position on the field, but when it comes to any position, I love defense, but more specifically, I love playing fullback. And the reason why I love fullback, well, before I get to that, man, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to Saw Sports TV as we're trying to push out content, whether it's about the Houston Astros, the Houston Dynamo, or the Houston Rockets, or any other teams here in the Houston and Houston area. This is the place to go. Obviously, Saw Sports covers the Texans. Saw Sports TV covers the rest. So make sure you guys subscribe to Saw Sports TV so you guys can get that content. But like I was saying about fullbacks, man, this position, when it comes to being in the back line, is the most athletic position on the field. You have to be able to run because you're going up against the fastest players on the opposing team, which are wingers. Along with being crucial for the back line because you're the bookends, you also help support the attack. You go up there and essentially you can also be a playmaker, which is pretty much essentially explains how I played when I did play fullback. I was able to go in, defend the winger, and then help support the attack, either center the ball onto the box, something like that. And it was just a fun position to play because not only I got to play defense, which is what I truly love, but I also got to be part of the attack, and that's also fun in its own. So fullback, you get the best of both worlds, in my opinion. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and break down each player in the fullback position. So the first player we're going to talk about is Adam Lundqvist. His contract will be expiring at the end of December of this year. He had a total of 29 appearances, had 3 assists, and had 4 yellow cards. Now, to me, this guy is your left back from here on out because of the fact DeMarcus Beasley did retire. And that was kind of the reason why he didn't really get to play his position all that much. Though, when DeMarcus Beasley did get hurt, he ended up coming in to step up and did a really good job and lived up to expectations. And I think a lot of people want to see Lundqvist play, but because Beasley was on the roster and he does play left back as well, you either saw Lundqvist not play or you saw him playing right back, which was a position that he's not very comfortable with. Even though he's a fullback, playing left and right can change a whole other things. There's a whole lot. There's a big difference from playing on the right side versus the left side, and he's just naturally plays left back. So I definitely will say it should be very high priority to maintain Adam Lundqvist and keep him on the roster for next year. Next guy I'm talking about is the ageless wonder himself, the captain, DeMarcus Beasley. Obviously, he's retiring this year. He had a total of 18 appearances, scored 2 goals and 2 assists. Beasley just had one hell of a career, man. He started off, honestly, he's actually a left winger. That's how he started off, but had just an amazing career, man. Playing in Europe, playing for Manchester City, PSV, Rangers, ended up playing in Mexico for a while in Puebla, and then obviously now with the Dynamo and ending his career here after 20 long seasons. The guy is now hanging it up, but I mean, can't really say much about it. I mean, happy retirement for DeMarcus Beasley. Definitely a fun player to watch. Growing up as a kid, watching him play with the U.S. national team and playing in World Cups. I mean, that's just so much excitement from this guy. So happy retirement to DeMarcus Beasley. So the next guy I'm going to talk about is actually last year's draft pick, Sam Junqua. His contract will be expiring at the end of November this year. So he had a total of 16 appearances with Rio Grande Valley Toros and a yellow card. Now with the Dynamo, he only made 2 appearances. But like similar to Eric McHugh, he is listed in the Dynamo roster, so that's why I'm having him on this video. And the only thing I'm going to say about this, so Junqua is a left back, and obviously with Lundqvist, it's not gonna like he can go in and unless they both compete or unless the Dynamo don't sign Lundqvist. But the one thing I'll say about Junqua, man, I would say keep him and either use him for that second team or send him down to Rio Grande Valley, get him to play more, get him some more experience. but I definitely want Junqua to be still under contract with the Houston Dynamo. So as far as Sam Junqua, I think that we should definitely try to retain him. All right, so the next player is AJ DeLaGarza. His contract will be expiring at the end of December of this year. He had a total of 27 appearances, 1 assist, and 6 yellow cards. I'm just gonna say, man, the DeLaGarza project was not necessarily ran as smoothly as we thought. He did have show moments where he was actually gonna look pretty good, but then got hurt, torn his ACL, and I don't think necessarily he was able to recover from that. And then he kind of became more of a liability at some moments, and yeah, I would just go ahead and say I think we should just let this contract just expire and move on from it. Maybe AJ DeLaGarza can return to the LA Galaxy where a majority of his career has been played, and maybe finish out his career with the LA Galaxy. Alright, so the last fullback that we'll be discussing is Jose B Zima. He was obviously recently signed by the Dynamo from Chile. He had 5 appearances and 1 yellow card. He wasn't able to play as much because of the fact that he did get hurt, but I gotta say, man, I kind of liked what I saw from those 5 appearances. I thought he looked pretty good, and I think that we do have a right back. I think we have our back line for next year. He's still under contract with us, so I definitely would say try to stay with him unless some team just offers a lot of money, which I highly doubt because he didn't play that much. So I think that this is definitely the guy we need to ride with at the right back position, and especially because for the sake of the future of the back line for the Dynamo. So that's the fullbacks for you. Like I said, man, I mean, aside from DeMarcus Beasley and AJ DeLaGarza, I think you should definitely try to retain these guys. Because, I mean, these guys have some quality that shows some hope. I mean, Sam Junqua, I think the only reason why is because I'm just tired of us not utilizing our draft picks, and I just want to see some draft pick finally, showing some worth to the team. And so hopefully Sam Junqua can do that or go into Rio Grande Valley. But I definitely think that you're going to definitely have to address the fullback position, especially as far as depth goes. I think for starters, I think Adam Luiz and Jose B Zima definitely are your guys for next year. But definitely you need to bring in some depth, especially when, like I said, you need to develop a second team for those side tournaments that go on, because you definitely want to put all your emphasis in the MLS season. And I mean, if you go far in the tournament, I mean, as the deeper and more difficult the tournaments go, maybe start going in and using your regulars. But I think just go in and let your developmental guys go in there and get some playing experience as that goes. So that's all I really got, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to Sauce Sports TV, so you guys can get more of this content. So other than that, man, chucking up a deuce. Y'all stay saucy.
Perfect.